Test 3 2 7. I've been backpacking for quite a few years now, and my systems have evolved, my gear has evolved, and there are a handful of things I wish I would have bought sooner. What is going down, friends? Welcome back to the channel. If you're into backpacking, if you're into gear reviews, if you're into bike packing, outdoor lifestyle, you have found your people. And that's exactly what I do on this channel. Backpacking trips, outdoor lifestyle, gear reviews for those kinds of things. So if you're new here, my name's Rob Belton. Welcome. I have a few things as I unpack for trips and pack for trips. There are items that I just keep noticing, like, man, I'm glad I have this. How would have my life been better on trail or at camp if I had these items sooner? So I'm gonna go through these things. So if you're currently getting your systems together and you're looking for the things, the little tips and secrets to get you ahead of the class, this might help. This is my own experience. These are the things that I have noticed, so your mileage may vary. Let's start with clothing. Yes, a lot of people go out and they're wearing their Under Armour shirts and these synthetic shirts, and that's completely fine. But whatever outer layers you are wearing on trail, I highly suggest buying some permethrin. This is a spray bottle made by Sawyer. They make other versions where you can dilute it and dip it in buckets. This is to help prevent ticks. Since using this 2, 3, 4 years ago, I haven't had a tick. Since that time. Before that, ticks all over the place. After buying permethrin and treating my clothes, no more ticks. And continuing with the clothing theme, merino wool layers. This is a merino wool t-shirt. Naturally antimicrobial, so it doesn't stink after days and days on trail. It dries fast, and it's a natural fiber, and treat this with permethrin, and this is a fantastic layer. Even in the summer, I know wool sounds like it's a super hot, warm item, but the merino lightweight stuff, this is by Smart Wool, it actually regulates hot temperatures very well. Coming on down the body to your undergarments, these are two dedicated pair of hiking boxer briefs for me. One is made by Ex Officio. These are like a synthetic. These are made by Sax, another synthetic. These layers, I only wear these for backpacking. And the way they're designed, the way they're cut, I don't know, but I have not chafed in these. I'm a thicker guy, I got thunder quads, and there's always been some friction on longer trips, but after investing in $20 underwear, I haven't had chafing. It's been nice and clean down there. Come up a little bit to your head. And since I sweat and I don't have any hair, and if those of you, if you don't know, if you have hair and you sweat, the sweat gets suspended up in your basket weave of a hair nest, and that allows it time to dissipate, disintegrate, evaporate. But when you're beautifully bald like myself, there's nowhere for that water to be held. That sweat, it beads up and then it just runs down your face, in your eyes, ears. I have found that this Outdoor Research Swift Cap, it's fully ventilated, airflow. This keeps my head dry. I will get some sweat that will drip on a very, very heavy, sweaty trip, but for the most part, this keeps my head dry. It keeps that moisture suspended so it can evaporate. And yes, this is treated with permethrin. Coming back down the body a little bit, this is an outer layer. It is a simple, like some ripstop 10D nylon material. These are wind pants made by Enlightened Equipment. They're the Copperfield, and they pack down to this small. They weigh nothing. Yes, they're not abrasion resistant, but when you're at camp, these little lightweight things are amazing. They protect your legs from bugs, and they actually will trap some heat because it does block wind. It helps bottle that heat. So these are camp pants for me, and they take up virtually no room, and they weigh like an ounce. So these pants by Enlightened Equipment, they're simple, they look like trash bags, but they're pretty awesome. Put my Pictured Rocks hat on. On down the body a little bit more, socks. In particular, wool socks. More specifically, Darn Tough wool socks. Wool, like I said, an amazing natural fiber, quick drying, antimicrobial, and very hard wearing. I have found that Darn Tough's they last. They're very, very durable, even more so than smart wool socks. Now, smart wool makes a great sock, but not for miles and miles on trail. They tend to wear out a lot faster. Darn Toughs are nice because they keep your foot dry. If your feet get wet in these, if you're wearing trail runners, within a couple of hours, your feet are dry with these socks. And then again, yes, these are treated with permethrin. Ticks don't like to crawl on these things because if they do and they're treated, they will die. So Darn Tough wool socks, specifically Darn Toughs. Lifetime warranty. If they wear out, you can send them in and they will replace these for free. Wait, not for free. I think you gotta pay shipping. You know what I mean. Coming on down to the bottom of the body, your feet. I started hiking in boots like most people have, and I graduated to trail runners. These are running shoes. Now I've had all kinds of different pair of running shoes, but these are designed to run on trails. Very grippy sole, very light, very breathable, and they drain really well too if your feet get wet. But picking these lightweight shoes up with every step is much easier than a boot that weighs a pound. So if you're, walking 20,000 steps in one day, I'd rather lift this shoe up than a boot. So trail runners, I wish I would have started with these right off the bat. Let's move on to some gear, gadgety, techie stuff. I've been on a lot of backpacking trips where I've been off the grid, and I usually tell people where I'm going, but they don't really know. So if I never showed up back home one day, they might know the general area where I am, but they won't know specifically because I'm off grid, right? I was recently gifted this Garmin InReach Mini. This allows the people that I want to track exactly where I am. So if I'm miles and miles and days from any trailhead or civilization, they can track me and make sure I'm okay. If I'm still moving, I'm okay. I can communicate with them, checking in, everything's okay. And if I do get into a situation where I break a leg, something dire is happening, this will bail me out. Search and rescue can come find me with this device. It's expensive, yes. It's an insurance policy to make sure that you get back alive. Maybe, with one less leg or something, but you're back alive. Garmin InReach Mini or the Zoleo, any of those kinds of tracking GPS units, get one, especially if you're off grid for days on end. Peace of mind for yourself, peace of mind for your loved ones. I really should have gotten this a lot sooner. More electronics. I do some biking, some bike packing, and I recently got a bike computer. This literally, it tells me turn-by-turn directions on my route. So if I'm in the backcountry with no cell signal, I'm not going to use my phone. I'll use a dedicated bike computer. This is a Wahoo Element Roam. Great computer, turn-by-turn directions, and it uses satellites and all that kind of stuff. More gear items. A dedicated food bag. This is a Hilltops Packs food bag. They can custom print these food bags, but it's waterproof, extremely light, and I know that this always carries my food. I don't have to worry about using a stuff sack for something else or bring in like a plastic bag from a gas station or something like that. A dedicated food bag that will always smell like food, that you can hang lightly or hang easily. The best part, I mean, it's got my face on it, so if someone wanders in the camp, they know I'm there. They should probably avoid the area at all costs. But a dedicated food bag, I really like the ones from Hilltop Packs, and if you want it custom designed, they can do that for you. So check out Ben over at Hilltop. Dedicated food bag is amazing. In the worst case scenario, you can use this as a dry bag if you want to. If you have some clothes or something you need to keep dry, or electronics, wrap it up in this thing. It's highly, highly water resistant. Or if you want to get crazy, you can use this as a pad underneath your hammock or in front of your tent, so you can have a dry area to place things. A lot of uses for this, and it's light and it's durable. All right, honestly, I just like looking at my face, let's be honest. I mean, look at that guy. Going with food bags, I do hang my food like with a bear hang. I don't use an Ursack or a bear canister. I hang these, and I hang it properly. And I have found that not all cordage, bear hanging cordage, is created equal. This is like a Dyneema cord, but what's cool about this is it's coated. It's almost like a waxy coating on this whole line. That makes it pulling across tree branches a lot easier. If you have paracord, for instance, that has some grip to it, a little coarseness to it, it can get hung up just on tree bark, and it just doesn't slide. There's too much friction there. This line glides across tree branches, and you're able to just lower and raise your food very easily. It seems silly, but until you're pulling on your line and you don't know why it's caught, that's an issue. Get some coated bear line. I think I got this from Gossamer Gear, and they give you a little carabiner. But something as simple as this can save tons of headaches in the woods. Trekking poles. Years and years and years I've hiked without trekking poles. My hands have always been occupied with a camera, or I thought, oh, I don't need no wussy trekking poles. I will tell you something. After long days of climbing hills, descending hills, these really do help save wear and tear on your knees, hips, and ankles. Even if you're on flat ground and you can really cruise, you can increase your stride with trekking poles, so you can actually maintain like a 4-mile-an-hour pace on flat land, which is cooking. But the best part about these is if you're crossing sketchy areas, like a log with mud or river rocks going across a stream, these 2 extra contact points stabilize you so you can navigate those things. Or if you're coming across, let's say there's some poison ivy on the trail, you can reach over, and flick it out of the way while you pass, or thorns or anything like that. Or if a bear comes at you, you can Zorro that thing or whatever. I don't recommend that. But trekking poles, now that I have them and I use them, I'm very thankful for when I do have them. And I can also use them on my tarp to create porch mode, so I can look out to my view when I'm laying in my hammock. So trekking poles, if you're on the fence with trekking poles, go out and buy some. These are Amazon brand, carbon, light, durable, and they're like 60 bucks on Amazon. These are awesome, Cascade Mountain Tech. Trekking poles, should have bought them way sooner. The very last thing seems so inconsequential. Wait a minute, there's one more thing, and it's kind of a biggie. This kind of counts as 2 things. This and this. Last year I got into hot tenting. What's a hot tent? It's a tent that you can make hot. Up here in Minnesota, it gets very cold in the wintertime. I don't know if that's a mystery to you, but it actually does. But that doesn't mean we stop going outside. I invested some money on hot tents. This is a giant TP hot tent. I got a smaller one that I haven't used yet. And then with that, you got your wood burning stoves. Put the stove inside of the tent, and now you got a safe, warm area to where you can cook, hang out, and just dry out things. So if it's 20 below outside, you can still go on snowshoeing trips. You can still do all kinds of stuff in the winter wonderland and have a safe place to come back to. So just because it's winter and it's cold as balls outside, hot tents can extend your camp time. Wish I would have got into these types of things sooner. The very last thing seems so inconsequential. This is my medical kit, and I'm not talking about a medical kit. It's what's inside of the medical kit. And it's so silly, and I don't know why I didn't buy this years and years ago. This little Swiss Army knife. This insignificant little thing. It replaces so many things in your pack. For instance, scissors. These sharp little scissors is what you need to cut blister tape. You can cut anything like Luco tape, anything like that. This little thing, super simple. On the other side, it has a mini knife. When I started backpacking, I thought I needed a big knife. I don't. This little knife, that's all I have ever needed. It's insane. Just keep it in your pack, and that's all you need. No need for a big knife, no need for a dedicated pair of medical shears, okay? Oh, there is one more thing I should have got a lot sooner. Stickers with my stupid face on it. I ordered like 500 of these things. So if you see me on trail or anywhere, just ask me for a sticker because I need to get rid of them. So these are the things that I just got off the top of my head. I'm sure there are 100 other things I could find, but these are what popped up because I'm packing for my next trip. What do you wish you would have bought sooner in your backpacking journey? Let me know down in the comment area below. And if you want to get a hold of me for anything, you can email me at rpelton1yt@gmail.com. But if you have any questions for me about this gear or any comments for me, any concerns for me, leave those down in the comment area below. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, leave comments, blah, 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 do the thing. Just make sure you get outside and enjoy this big, beautiful world, because there's a lot of it out there. We'll see you on the next one. I'm so judgmental in this picture. Like, I'm looking at you like you don't know what you're doing, but I know what I'm doing, so you should recognize